Good morning, everyone. I hope you all are doing well. Welcome back to our Python programming class. Before we begin today's class, let's quickly revise what we learned in our previous class about list. I want everyone to participate. Let's answer these questions together, okay? What is a list? A list is a collection of multiple items stored in a single variable, okay? Which brackets are used to create a list? Square brackets. Does list indexing start from 0 or 1? It starts from 0. Can we change elements in a list? Yes, we can change. Lists are mutable, meaning we can modify the elements after creating the list. Okay. Now, today we are going to learn another collection data type called a tuple. At first glance, tuples look almost the same as list. Many beginners think they are identical, but there is one important difference between them. By the end of today's class, you will understand. You will clearly understand. Okay. First of all, I will tell the definition of tuple. Tuple is a collection of multiple items stored in a single variable. Tuples are written using parentheses and are immutable, which means their values cannot be changed after they are created. Let's understand this definition step by step. The first part says a tuple is a collection. What does mean a collection? Collection simply means a group of items kept together. For example, suppose I ask you to store five fruits: apple, banana, mango, orange, grapes. Should we create five different variables? Yeah, we can create different variables. But imagine storing 500 fruits or 5,000 student names. Creating thousands of variables is not practically possible. So Python provides data types such as list, tuple, dictionary. Okay. Today we are learning tuple. A tuple allows us to multiple values inside a single variable. Okay. So I will give you one example of tuple. The structure of tuple. Okay. Okay. Now we are running this. Okay. This is the structure of a tuple. You can call this brackets as parenthesis. Inside the parenthesis, there is four values. Each value is called an element. These elements are separated using commas. So this tuple contains four elements. Okay. Now I will tell you one real life example. Can you change your birth date every week? No, it's always remains the same. Think about your Aadhaar number. Once it is issued, does it change every day? No. Okay. So whenever we have information that should remain fixed, Python provides tuples. This is why tuples are called immutable. Okay, so we can now understanding immutable. We can tell that. Now let's understand today's most important word, immutable. Many students get confused by this word. Let's break it down. Mutable means can be changed. Immutable means cannot be changed. That means once we create a tuple, we cannot add elements, remove elements, replace elements, modify elements. Everything remains the same. Okay. Now let's give an example. One more example of tuple. Okay. Just watch it carefully. Just Return this tuple has three elements. Okay, Rahul 20 and CSC. Suppose I want to change Rahul to Mohan. So okay, just write here student. Okay, now it's just run. We identify that it will not work. Python will give an error because tuples are immutable. This code is giving error because tuples are immutable. Okay, we can see the error here because tuples are immutable. That's why we got the error. Okay, this will immediately produce an error because tuple elements cannot be modified. Okay, now we can go to the next topic. Okay, now just first I will tell the summary of this. Remember the symbol rule. If the data changes often, uses a list. If the data should remain fixed, the data should remains fixed means uses a tuple. This single rule will help you decide which data type to use in the most beginner Python programs. Okay. Now let's go on to the creating tuples. How to create a tuple. So far we have learned what a tuple is and why we use it. Now learn about how to create a tuple in Python. So first of all, we know that we use parenthesis instead of square bracket here. Just look at it. I will show you with one example. Okay, now we can run the program. Yeah, we get the right answers. The first line fruits is the variable name here. This is the assignment operator. This is the bracket is parenthesis. Then we get the output as apple, banana, and mango. Each element is separated by the comma. Okay. Python stores all these values together as one tuple. Okay. And the second line displays the complete tuple. Okay. So how many elements are present here? Three. Okay. Now we can do one more example. Okay. Mixed data type we can do. Just look at the coding part. Just bring this student. Okay. Yeah. So with this we can understand that Rahul is the string here, 20 is an integer, this is a float, and this is a boolean. A tuple can contain different data types in the same collection. Okay. Remember the line, a tuple can contain different data types in the same collection. Okay. Now there is empty tuple also. Okay. It contains no elements. There is one more thing, empty tuple. It contains no elements. Okay. Now we will do another thing. Single element tuple. It's very important for exams and all that. Okay, just look at the coding part. Okay, now just run it. One thing I will ask you one question. Is this a tuple? But mostly beginners will say yes, but it is no. Python treat it as an integer. Okay. Now just I will do one more thing. Just put a comma here. Now we are running the code. Here we will get class tuple. Okay, we can see here when a tuple has only one element, we must add a comma after the element. Okay, remember the paragraph again. When a tuple has only one element, we must add a comma after the element. Without the comma, Python does not recognize it as a tuple. Okay, now we can study tuple indexing. Okay, so it's a important topic. Now that we know how to create a tuple, the next question is how do we access individual elements? The answer is indexing. Just like lists and strings, tuples also use indexing. Okay, as we know, the indexing will be start from the first element will be 0, the first element, second element will be 1, and the third element will be 2, and the fourth element will be 3. Okay, so I will do with an example so you can understand. Okay, just carefully watch. Just run the program. We'll get the output as apple. Okay, so this is how this works. We already studied that from list indexing. All okay. We already studied negative indexing. That's also same like that. Yeah, but in the opposite end, we will start from that. Okay. Now I will ask some common questions which you can answer in the comment box. Okay. Which brackets are used to create a tuple? Can a tuple store different data types? What is special about a single element tuple? Okay, just I will give you 10 seconds you to remember that I will not speak, so you can speak your zones and get the answer. Okay, so everyone, we have reached the end of the today's class. Let's take a few minutes to revise everything we learned about tuples in Python. Today we learned that a tuple is a collection of multiple items stored in a single variable. It is very similar to a list, but there is one important difference. A tuple is immutable, which means its elements cannot be changed after the tuple is created. We learned that tuples are created using parentheses, and each value inside the tuple is called an element. The elements are separated by commas. We also learned that tuples can store different types of data such as strings, integers, floating point numbers, Boolean values, even a combination of different data types in the same tuple. Now we learned how to Next we learned how to create different types of tuples. A tuple with multiple elements, a tuple containing different data types, and an empty tuple. Then we studied tuple indexing. Just like strings and lists, tuple indexing starts from 0, which means the first element has index 0. The second element has index 1 and so on. We also learned about negative indexing, where the last element has index -1 and the second last element has -2 and so on. This helps us access elements from the end of the tuple. After that, we learned tuple slicing, which allows us to extract a part of a tuple using the syntax tuple start stop. The start index is included while the stop index is excluded. Okay, now I will give you some important key points to remember from this area so you guys can remember it. Okay, length finds the number of elements in a tuple. Joins two tuples. Repeats a tuple. Okay. Just remember these key points. This is an important. If you know this, you can solve it. Any question from this? Finds the index position. Finds the index position of an element. Okay. Index finds the index position of an element. Okay. Remember that unlike list, tuples do not have methods such as append, remove, or sort because their contents cannot be modified. Okay. So in our next class, we will learn dictionaries in Python. We will understand what is dictionary, key value pairs, creating dictionaries, assessing value using keys, adding, updating, and deleting elements, dictionary methods, practical programs using dictionaries. So everyone please complete today's homework and revise the difference between list and tuples as it is one of the most frequently asked interview and exam questions. Okay. So thank you everyone for your active participation. Keep practicing Python every day because the more you practice, the more confident you will become. See you in the next class. Have a wonderful day. Thank you.